So back out with the dogs. Not bad now. I had started to record this video a few minutes ago. And then a car came up and I was like, don't even know if this will, if I'll be able to, if you'll be able to hear me now with the car passing by, like on this little road. They pass by right beside you. But anyway, so I thought I paused the video. I don't know what I did, because when I went to kind of continue, the camera was pointing upwards and I couldn't get it back down because I don't know what I'm doing half the time. But anyway, so I just came out of it and started it all again. But yeah, here we are. And at the bottom of this road, this was all forest, just like the forest you can see in the background there. This was all like that. And when was Storm Eowyn? The beginning of last year, was it? Yeah. Came along and it wiped out whole forests. Well, the harvesters had to come in and tidy it up and all that kind of stuff. But it was like a nuclear bomb had gone off and just took the whole forest out. And for various other forests around the place, it did that. That's how powerful it was. We were without electricity for 2 weeks, which was fun, and I'll do a video on how we coped with that, and what we had and what we didn't have, and what we've since got because of learning from that. But yeah, that's what the storm did. It was like a nuclear bomb. Talking of nuclear, of course now there's, depending on who you listen to and what you watch, there's the threat now, they say, that Israel could go nuclear on Iran or whatever, you know. I mean, this is a mad world, isn't it? We live in, you know. And look, it would be easy to look at one person or one nation, you know, say, oh, they're the bad guy, this is all their fault, and all that kind of stuff. But it's never that simple, you know. There's a car coming down now again. Fucked if I'm pausing this and stopping it and all, and so I'm just gonna have to make do. I'm gonna have to move in, so bear with me. Passing by now. I do piss down the road sometimes, even though they're only little roads. Like fucking rally drivers. Yeah, and it's, look, you have to keep an open mind. You know, There's a lot of people would look at Iran and say, oh, they're the bad guys, they're the terrorists, they're the this, that, the other. Yeah, they have to be managed, they have to be controlled, and the only way is by force. There's a lot of people that would look at Israel and say, oh Jesus, they're the real terrorists, they're the bad guys. The way they treat Gaza and Palestinians, and now they're bombing Lebanon as we speak, and so on and so on. You know, and like they are doing this, they are. But there's no simple explanations for this. There's no kind of, you know, there's history. This stuff has been going on decades, you know, and there's a lot of anti-Israel sentiment out there at the moment, and I get it on the one hand, because when you have a country, it's like the US, when you have a country that's acting up, that's going around fucking bombing places, yeah, it's bad. But look, I'm sure the average person in America and the average Israeli, they're not mad, they're not lunatics. They're not spending their every day wishing Iran and Lebanon to be bombed into obliteration. They're not, they're just like you, they're just like me, they're just normal people. They have to be. You know what I mean? I don't think the Trumps and the Netanyahus of this world are doing it in their name. Of course they'll have supporters. They'll have people who want this, you know, but we have to be careful. Not all, you know, the average Iranian Joe Soap or Josephine Soap is not a terrorist, is not an extremist that wants to kill all Jews, all Americans, all Westerners. The average Israeli is not wants to kill all Palestinians, all Arabs. They don't. The same goes for, I hope, the average American. These people aren't doing what they're doing in their name, in the average person's name. So I think we have to be careful about how we project and how we vomit, you know, our anger out and express ourselves. We kind of do, you know. We can't just label everyone, tar everyone with the same brush, you know. And there's a lot of history to these conflicts. There's a lot of fucking stuff that's gone on and goes on in the background that we will never be privy to, you know. What I have realised from living out in the country is, in this lovely part of the world, look at it. Like, seriously. Before I lived here, I would have paid to come on holiday out here. But what I've realised is, an awful lot of the time, all you can do is keep your own head, keep your own counsel, look after your own backyard, your own little nest, you know, and in a way where you're not stepping on anybody else. You know, you got to take care of yourself first, your own home and your own gang, you know. turning around now. Taking the doggos back home. You just got to look after your own little plot. You know, that's all you can do. Make sure you're secure for whatever comes your way. You know, that's what I do anyway. This is all stuff I have learned from getting out of the city, as they say, and into the country.